what the difference is in the magnitude of the trades that you're doing with futures or the micro futures, the minis, the Qs. So I'm gonna take a quick look at that today. But all things said, Friday, if you watch the gameplay on video, the strategy session, it played out perfectly, right? So we had a really really good example of how to wait for things to come to you and then just sort of follow through on the strategy. Today, things have been moving. It's been a pretty big, just a waterfall move lower, and had to wait and wait and wait and wait for a pullback. So not much excitement, but let's go to the charts and let me show you exactly what happened and what the game plan is going into the closing bell today. So here you have it. We have got this, we had a nice pop to the upside this morning, got right up into first resistance, and then holy moly, right? We had this move to the downside. Now, when this kind of a thing happens, that I'm looking for, pullbacks to support and resistance levels. I thought we were going to get one in here, and I was a little bit too tight on this support and resistance line. Didn't really have double confirmation or anything coming my way by way of the 2SD. So, I passed on that first one. That was actually a really nice trade, 362 down to 361 effectively. But, as the day goes on and you get this kind of a thing where, the temptation is to just go and jump in somewhere in here. And today it would have worked out, right? You could have caught, additional downside anywhere in that range. But generally speaking, it's better to wait and be patient. That's what I did. So I did not get my first trade off until we were down in this range right here. So when this came back up into there, you can see that that overlapped with a 2 standard deviation move in terms of the price level, got us back into this volume by price threshold as well. Right, you can see all this stuff right here. So you had nice confluence all the way around, including this anchored volume weighted average price. So everything lined up nicely. We had a 382 pullback of this move right here. Right, so you had everything telling you that you had a good trade in place. And then the exit was when we got back down into this excursion down from the central tendency down to this pivot line, right? Everything lined up just exactly the way that you would want it to line up. So what's that mean in terms of the triple Qs? So if you're trading the QQQ directly, then that move is, pretty much from 359.45. I'm going to say, you got in shy of this 55 level. It was on this move up again into a 2 standard deviation excursion, right? That's close enough, as I say, for government work. But, that got you short. And, so that move gets you about an 80-cent move down into your target. So 80 cents if you're trading the Qs. If you're trading, let's say you're trading 500 shares of the Qs, then, 80 cents is going to be about 400 bucks. If you're trading, let's say you're trading 100 shares, that's $80, right? So what's it mean in terms of the futures? If you're trading the futures, if you're trading a micro contract, then for each micro, that's about a $30 move, right? Far less capital involved in trading the micro than there is in trading the triple Q or trading the mini. So what happens with the mini? Let's take a look at, here's Friday's setup, right? So you can see we had this big move to the downside here. And, so if you're trading the futures contract, if you're trading the E-mini, and, let's say you're trading 5 contracts on this, then Friday's move was remember we were looking for confluence on the short side of the market, and we were looking to get in right at this line here at 15,118.04. And, the move to the downside happened. We had lots of good shorts on Friday. We had this, sort of smaller scale move to the downside. We had this bigger move here. But, 5 contracts on this over the course of the day generates a lot of return, right? You're talking about 8,000 bucks, but you also have more risk. So when you're doing 5 contracts or any kind of contracts on the mini, right, your risk is this thing up into here, you know, which is a couple $1,000s, about three or $4,000 worth of bleed back before you get the move down into your profit objective. So all of these things, you know, all you Super Vol Sunday guys who, you know, came to the thing in Vegas and, you know, we were looking at triggering from our cues, right? So I'm always looking to get long or short from price action in the triple Qs. This is the thing that I'm used to looking at. This is the thing that I understand. So when we're trading these, we're just always going to stay focused on, you know, what's happening in the Qs, and then use the Qs to trigger what's going on in the futures. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up there, and hopefully you folks are making some money and enjoying the big move to the downside in the QQQ on Monday. All right, I'll talk to everybody tomorrow.